Would you believe me if I told you that we grew over 80 bunches of spring greens so far this season in 2025? We've saved over $400 in groceries just from growing spring greens. And I almost gave up growing greens in general because of this one mistake that you'll want to avoid. So in today's video, I'm going to walk you through how we saved $400 so far in spring 2025 in a Zone 7B garden in Southern Maryland. And if you're new here, hi, my name is Lex. So let's go ahead and get into it. So why do we grow so many spring greens? It comes down to what we put in the cart at the grocery store. A bunch of organic greens usually cost about $3.50. Baby bok choy, $5 each. And a bag of lettuce that's 5 ounces is $3.79. So when you're eating as much greens as we do, it adds up fast. So far in this garden, we've harvested 10 bunches of collards, 6 bunches of dino kale, 3 bunches of dwarf Siberian kale, the equivalent of 24 baby bok choy, 30 bags of lettuce, and I'm sure I'm forgetting more. That adds up to over $400 that I would have spent in the grocery store, and a packet of seeds cost about $3.50, probably even less than that. So for a total of about $30 plus a little bit of pest control, you can be growing your own greens, and that is a huge thing for your family. And in just a bit, I'll show you guys how you can set up your own organic greens bed affordably and how you can avoid the mistake that I made in this first harvest of 2025. Spring greens are surprisingly easy to grow, even for beginners. You can start your seeds 4 to 8 weeks before your last frost date because greens thrive in cool weather and even partial shade is fine. Use loose compost-rich soil, or you can use your basic clay soil like I have, and you'll still grow wonderful greens. Water weekly unless you have a lot of spring rain like we do, and you won't even have to water at all. You're going to harvest all of the outer leaves to keep the plants producing for longer, and you'll get that beautiful tree-like shape the more you harvest. But I'm going to be real with you guys. I was this close to just giving up growing brassicas in the spring altogether because pests love these brassicas just as much as we do. And brassicas pretty much make up a lot of our spring greens category with the exception of lettuce and toy choy. So with that being said, we had to do something about these pests. And you can see back here, we're still kind of dealing with the aftermath of my mistake, which was not taking pest control seriously for the spring months. It's easier to grow greens in the fall months. The spring worms and bugs are all over them. So you can use BT, which will help with your worms and your caterpillars. DE is like a ground seashell that you can mix with water and spray all over your plants. And we typically do that, but we get a lot of rain. We definitely do it with our fruit trees, but we get a lot of rain in the spring and it just washes right off. You can also use neem oil, which is like a general pest deterrent, but make sure you're not spraying it like in the hot, sunny, hot weather so you're not burning your plants. Or you can use row covers, which is something that I haven't done. I actually have like a shade cloth in there I'm going to play around with. But I think I'm going to give row covers a try. And that prevents those bugs from laying eggs in the first place, which will hopefully help you avoid these holy leaves like I have back here. So avoid that one mistake and treat pest control very seriously, especially when you're going into the summer months. But even after you harvest your greens, you still need to protect them. And skipping this next step could cost you your whole batch. So keep on watching. After harvesting, I trim off the tough stems and I chop the leaves into manageable pieces. And here's the step I used to skip. Don't make my mistake. You're going to soak the greens for 30 minutes in vinegar and salt water. In the past, I would use vinegar or salt, whatever I had more of on hand. But what I learned is Worms really do not like salt, so you don't want to skip the salt. This loosens the dirt, removes any of the lingering pests, and ensures your greens are clean. I learned this lesson after my broccoli growing journey, and let's just say that left me a little bit squeamish. So if you haven't seen that video, I'll leave it in the description below. After soaking, I rinse thoroughly and I dry the greens completely before I freeze them or store them whatever way I decide. The blanching process locks in freshness so your greens can last for months in the freezer. The first thing you'll do is boil water. I salt my water right before adding the greens and I blanch for about 2 minutes because I'm skipping the ice bath process. So my greens will stay a little hotter a little bit longer. But I lay them out on a cookie sheet with paper towels or very, very clean kitchen towels to draw away the moisture and dry them very quickly. Once they're dry, I portion them into freezer bags and I flatten them for easy stacking. If you want to save space in the freezer, flatten your bags. You're not only saving space, but it's much easier to thaw this flattened bag when it's ready to cook versus a block of greens. So flatten your bags. So, what tasty things can we make with all of these spring greens? Sauteed dino kale with a little bit of olive oil, garlic, crushed red pepper. So simple and so delicious. Stir-fried toi choy, tossed in a wok with fried rice or noodles. That's a quick weeknight dinner for us. A fresh salad mix with baby kale, lettuce, and herbs straight from the garden to the bowl. And worst case scenario, you can never go wrong with a pot of slow cooked collards simmered low and slow with some smoked meat. That is Southern comfort at its best. If you've overcooked your greens or they're tasting a little bit bland, you can always add a splash of vinegar or lemon juice to brighten them up a bit. Now, let's get to the numbers. We've harvested over 87 bunches of greens. We've saved $400 at the grocery store. It cost us $30 to set up. Even with just an 8x4 garden bed, you would more than pay for the setup in your first season and continue saving year after year. Sounds like a bargain to me. It's raining out here, but it's totally worth it because spring greens are really one of the best things that you can grow in your garden. Not only are they extremely healthy for you, but they are extremely affordable to grow. So don't be scared to start your own garden, even if it's a small one. So hopefully this video will encourage you to do that. And if you want to see what we're growing in our Zone 7B garden, all of it, not just the spring greens, then click on this video right here to get a full tour of our 2025 garden. I hope to see you guys again soon. Bye.